Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be doing a haul. It's a huge haul, and it's probably a 3-week long haul, but in amongst it I went to a stamp show and bought some things there, and then I wasn't feeling well, so pitied myself and bought some presents for myself there. So I'll just go into some detail. Hope you'll stay tuned. Well, as you know, I went to the stamp show, and Wendy Vecchi has her new set of blendable inks available now. They're $3.99 a piece, which I thought was a really good deal, and they're a pretty good size. I'll show you the in comparison to a distress ink. They're about I'd say half an inch taller and about half an inch shorter, so I would say it's about the same size as a distress ink. And I bought the four colors that they had available that I liked, which were watering can, it's a gray color, acorn, which is a brownish color, orange blossom, obviously an orange, and prickly pear, which is a green. And then I came home and I bought more from Stampers Anonymous, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to give you the stamp show first. Then I went to the Rubbernecker booth, and they had, I'm sure you heard me say it in the video, I was really excited. Maybe you haven't seen that video yet. Well, when you see it, I get really excited about this felt watercolor paper. I'm really excited about playing with this. It's not suitable for general watercoloring projects. It's best for rubber stamps, so it's not for acrylic. It's for rubber stamps, and I love watercoloring, and I really like the red rubber stamp, so it really made me happy. You get 20 sheets of it for $3.95. I didn't think that was a bad price. Then I'm pretty sure I also bought the world's greatest embossing powder from them. It's a clear high gloss, and I wanted to try that out. And they had this, it's an offset stamp of trees, so you have the background and the foreground so that it looks like it's shaded, or you could stamp these on the reverse of it and make it look like a mirror image, but they call this watercolor forest, and I really liked it. It was $9.90 for 2 of them, but for me, when I go to those shows, you expect to pay full price, you expect to pay a good amount for them, and this best embossing powder everywhere, I think that was $6, $5 maybe, anyway. And then back to the Stampers Anonymous booth, I think. Nope, this is a different booth. I bought, this is the Tim Holtz Copper. It's the alcohol ink. I got this at Gary Burlin and Company for $5.50. I never can find copper alcohol ink by itself. It usually comes with another ink, and I just wanted copper for the album I'm working on, so I got that, and you'll see that in action really shortly, because I need it for the feet that I'm putting on my album that I couldn't find in a coppery color. Everything I found are in brass, so my feet are brass, and I'm going to change them to copper. Then I bought VersaFine Vintage Sepia, and I don't like the VersaFine ink pads, as you know, and I thought I would show you how I change them over so that they are in a pad I like. I buy the Distress Ink Custom Blend, which is there's nothing in this. See that? My hand comes back clean because there's nothing in there. And you buy those to make your own colors. If you don't like the color or the pad that they come in, which I don't like the VersaFine pads, all you're going to do, and I'm going to just squeeze a big bunch of this out because my pad is completely dry. It's not like re-inking. When you re-ink, you only put a little bit on, but when you have a pad that's completely dry like this one is, you have to work at it a little bit more. And I'm going to take the bottom of a plastic spoon, and I'm just kind of working. I'm going to kind of push on this so that I'm working it in. The more you work it in, the better this is going to work for you in the end, because you don't really want it to go over the edges and onto the plastic below. You just want it to sink into the foam piece below it. this is their version of brown, and you can see it looks brown. Sepia normally looks like those old pictures that you would see, you know, like the very, very vintage photos from like the 1800s that are that kind of orangish brown tone. That's what this color is in real life, but I don't think it's going to be what it's going to stamp out for, and I will stamp it for you after I let it sit a little bit, because you do want to let this sit a little while before you use it. So I'm going to let this sit and see if we have enough ink on it. If I don't, I can go back in and add more, but that's how I do it the first time, and then I re-ink it as I need to. And then I like to, when I have a color, I normally like to put a little swatch of it on there, so I'm just going to put my spoon right there on the edge, if I can get a little bit to come off. There you go. And that way I know what color it is and I can write it on there too, but that definitely isn't what I would consider sepia. It's brown. So there's that, and we'll let that sit aside for a little bit, and then if I need to add more ink to it, we will. Then I went to Lost Coast Designs, and I love these. You're going to laugh at this. I want to get further into this haul. I saw Lindsay do a video where she used these pencils. Can you see that they're pencils, or they're different varieties of pencils? Anyway, I saw her do something with these pencil stamps, and I thought, man, that'd be a cool background for I don't know what, but I just thought it'd be really a cool background. So Lost Coast Designs had this, and I think it was $7, so it was very inexpensive. And I decided I had to have it, so I got that. That might be all I bought at the stamp show. Then there's a lady that's been selling some things on eBay, and she has a variety of things that I really like. And this is the Ranger set that's, let's see what it's called, Little Birdies, MDZ 49548. And I really like it because it comes with that stencil, so it's kind of fun. And then she had this little set, and it has these little color, you can, let me tell you how big those are. These little stamps are 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and then down on the sides are a bunch of little stamps that says, with much love for you, good times, love ya, thinking of you, just a little note to say. I use these a lot. Just a little note to say, thinking of you, for you, things like that. I send a lot of those, just kind of vague cards. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the little birdies say. Lovebirds, tweet, chirp, and then a little birdie told me. So those are all cute. So then you could say a little birdie told me, and then you could put on that, you know, happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever else you want to put on there. Okay, here's the part you're going to think is funny. Maybe not yet. Maybe it will be. Okay, so then I went, I think it was Joanns. Yep, Joanns.com. And they had this Technique Tuesday set. Well, I didn't look at the dimensions. You know how I have that problem sometimes? And I thought I was getting, can you see it now? It's paintbrushes and more of the same. For some reason, I thought this was a background stamp too, but it's small, and I didn't really want small. It's 4 inches by 2 inches, so it's a lot smaller than the background stamp. So I'm not sure about that one. Because it's from Joann's, I'm sure I can send it back to them, but I just wanted to tell you about that little problem. That, you know, I always forget to look at sizes, and when they show those photos online, it always looks so much bigger. And then there's this one that I really liked. This is from Christine Adolph, and she makes a series. This one is Fresh Flowers number 2, but there's Fresh Flowers number 1. And look at the size of this. This is a big stamp. Let me go from bottom to top. The top is right there, so I'd say it's almost 5 inches tall, and it's about 3.5 inches across. So it's a background stamp. It's a really nice, thick, heavy-duty stamp, but that's what it looks like if you'd stamp it out. And of course I'm going to stamp it out and color it, so I might even do it on that new, with my new pad. I've been watching other people do those rotating stamps. Jennifer McGuire does them. It's a turnabout stamp where you stick it in the MISTI and you turn it, then you turn it, then you turn it. And this one really appealed to me. It's just really, I'm going to say it, frisky. I thought it was really, really frisky. So this is the one called Dottie Turnabout. And it's big. I mean, it makes the whole background, but this is what it shows you. If you do one side of it, if you do two sides, if you do three, and if you do four. And I kind of liked it when you did four because I thought you could do all different shades of one colored background. And remember, it's not going to look exactly like that because you have, I'm not sure what, I have to play with this because I don't know why there's this one circle that's not the same as all the others. One of these things is not like the others. Maybe you're supposed to put one of these in. Anyway, I haven't played with it yet. You'll know when I do. And I got that from Joann's as well. Okay, then, because so many of you have been asking about the Tim Holtz stamp platform, I was on Joanns.com and they had them 50% off, so it was $19.99, and I decided I was going to try it. And the reason I wanted to try it was because I wanted to see if I could do it, if I could lift this and turn it around and put it in. And I'll be honest, it's heavy, but I really wanted to give this a try, and so I bought this for $19.99, and I thought that was a good deal for it. And as I said, if I don't love it, I can send it back, which you never know, I might do if I can't use it. So we'll put that aside because I want to use that in a video. I also got the Tim Holtz ruler because I wanted one with a metal edge that I could do the measures in the, I don't know if you've ever this is the reason you use the Tim Holtz ruler. In this going this way, I'm going to do it from the edge so I can see this. From the edge, each one of these lines is 1/8 of an inch, the little dotted line. Then the next straight line is 1/4 of an inch. Then the next one is 3/8. Then this is 1/2 inch. And then, so this is, these lines from this section to this section are 1 full inch. And what you can do is, if you want to make sure that you're going in 1/4 of an inch from one side, then you know that's this first straight line. And if you want to go 1/2 inch, you know it's the second straight line. So I thought it was a good tool for me to keep things straight and to measure things. And you know that this side is your plastic side because it's on an angle, and then your metal side, you can see the metal edge there. I don't know if you can see the plastic side has kind of beveled lip to it. So that's going to be something we're going to be playing with a lot going forward. And then, because I love them, they have the baby Tim Holtz in. I had never seen them at Joann's before, so I thought I have to have them because you know how much I really like the next size up. So let me grab my next size up and I'll show you the size difference. One of the big reasons that you want to get these scissors is because they cut through just about anything. And for me, I need something that is really durable and will cut through anything. And then they come with a nice little cap that I immediately throw out into my recycling bin because I don't use them. But this is what they consider the small snips, or had in the past considered the small snips. And they, from the blade to the end of the blade is about 2 inches. And the scissors themselves are 7 inches, the whole length of them. These, the blade is about 1.5 inches, and the scissor is about 4 3/4 inch long. I don't know if I had that in the frame or not, but it's very small. And these ones I think you would use more for fussy cutting. I'll tell you this much: these handles, because they're shorter, the metal in the inner part does make them a little bit more difficult to use than these ones, because these have a bigger handle and they're easier to use. But they're Tim Holtz, and I love these scissors, so I'm happy I bought them. And I have this. Okay, I'm going to show you my lamp. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see if I can just move my camera over a little bit or move something. Okay, here's what I do with all of my scissors. And I do mean almost all of them. I mean my little snips is what I'm saying. I put my magnets on the side of my lamp, and then because my light is right here where everything is at my fingertips, I can just grab a pair of scissors whenever I need them. So I just basically put them along the edges so that you can see. So I always have a pair of scissors at my disposal. It works really well for me. I don't know if it would work for anyone else, but if you're doing videos, you have to have strong lights, and this is one of my lights that is always at my fingertips and makes crafting really simple for me because it's right there, and so are all my scissors. I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but I have seen these paint they're little daubers that come like this on a wooden dowel, and I was on AliExpress and I saw them, and you had to buy 5 sets of them. And so when I bought them, I thought, okay, what am I going to use them with? And then I saw these paints, and I've really been wanting to start doing art journaling. And so I got, let me see the colors I got. Cut grass, which is, I'll turn it so you can see it really well. There's the color of cut grass. Fresh lime, I really like this color. Make sure you see it from this side so you can see that green really well. What's this one called? Squeezed orange. I really love this one. I'm a fan of orange in almost anything. And then this is a gray color that's called slate gray. Pretty. Believe it or not, I did not buy all of their colors. Post box red. Okay, apparently that's a post box color. Shocking to me, I never knew post boxes were that color red. Anyway, this one is called melted chocolate, and you know anything chocolate I have to have. This one is vibrant turquoise. Pretty. Ooh. And this one is pomegranate seed. I really like that. It's like a brownish purple. Isn't that pretty? Then this one is a dirty martini. Just in case you want to have a little something with your chocolate. And this one is polished jade. I didn't think that really looked like jade to me, but I like the color, so I went with it anyway. This one is black marble. Gotta have some black. This one is funky fuchsia. Gotta have some wild purple. Then another orange. This is tangerine dream. Then cherry pie. Oh, I should have some cherry pie with some tangerine dream. Isn't that pretty? I really like these. So anyway, I'm going to start doing things in my journal that I made in a video many moons ago, and I've never done anything with the journal. I made the front of the journal, got it all ready to go, and then never did anything with it. That's pretty typical of me sometimes, and this is going to force me to do something with it. The other thing it did was it made me think about something my girlfriend had made me that I could never find a good use for. She made me this really cool, I don't know if you can see it from this angle because it's really tall. It's a big holder, and I put this canister in it, but I'm thinking I'm going to take the canister out and use the inside of it, hopefully you can see that, and use it so that I can put my paints and my brushes in here, because I could put the brushes in the on the side. You know, right now when they're not open, this doesn't seem like it's going to be a mistake, but probably once they're open and I'll make a big mess inside, it probably will be a big mistake. And then next up, I bought a bunch of tear tape on AliExpress. I bought that's 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. I bought 3 of the 1/2 inch I hope that's not foam tape. I don't think it is. I always do that on AliExpress. You don't know if they're telling, if it's the truth or a lie when it comes to foam tape, because I don't know if they, you know, our English translation, our language translation, cut that bird for that. Our language translation word for word isn't always right. Then I went to, Carol Held told me to go to LDRS Creative, and they were having a really good sale on dies, and this die is one that you can cut just the top of, and then it has these cool button shapes inside. And then this one, same thing, it cuts all these cool shapes, and then it cuts little fun centerpieces. And they were, I think they were $2.35 or $2.85, something like that. But I really liked them because they were unusual shapes, and I like those bigger background shapes. Then here's the other box I got, and this was from Ranger Industries, because that's where I needed to go to get the rest of my inks. Violet, fern green, sunflower, that was the one I really wanted when I was there, and cornflower blue. I was surprised that they didn't have very many reds. Oh, they had this one, poppy. That was the only reddish color. There was one other reddish color, but I wasn't really fond of it. And then they had, this was one of those things where I wish I'd bought it when I was at the stamp show, and I didn't. And it's these markers that are the distress crayons. They're not markers, they're crayons. But they have a gold, tarnished brass, antique bronze, and brush pewter. And I thought those were really great colors. And so I got those. And Ranger, if you didn't know, they have this line called Letter It. They're clear stamps, but they're different greetings. And for the main sentiments in here, they're brush lettered. And I really love bigger, like the hello and the get well. I just really liked them because they were just meaty. And so I got these. I think these were $6.95, something like that. I think May also sells these, but that's the scoop on them. I'm going to grab one of them out, and we're going to stamp with our new ink pad and see how I did. Before you use these kinds of stamps, you should always wash them off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy stamp cleaner that I make, and for those of you who've never seen this, it's in one of these bottles. It's a pump bottle that you get at like a pharmacy, but you can find these at the Dollar Tree for $1. You can find them other places, but all you do is you pump the top, and your liquid comes out the top. I do 10 parts of water to 1 part of baby shampoo, and I put a little bit of glycerin in there as well. So I'm going to use this where it says Feel Better. Lay it on there like that. It doesn't have to be straight. I will tell you this though, if you don't have, we're going to go with this. If you don't have any kind of stamping device that you think will work, you can take your ruler, your Tim Holtz ruler, and you can line up, it's on upside down, you can line this up like that, and hopefully it's straight. Let me look and make sure it is. Or you can do this, where you line it up on a, so you think it's lined up properly, and then you can put that down like that. So, okay, we're going to do it on a piece of craft cardstock. And remember, this is not a normal stamping acrylic block. This is a ruler, so it's not going to stamp the same as a regular acrylic block will, but I wanted to show you that if you did not have an acrylic block, that you would be able to still do something like this. Oops, I moved it a little bit. Look how great that came out. So if you've got a ruler, you've got a way to stamp. And I love that color brown too. Probably look different on white, but still, I like it. Makes me happy. I'm happy with my sentiment too. I like that Feel Better. So I think that was everything I got. I know it was a lot. I hope you enjoyed this, that you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.